Who's winning? What's the feeling on the ground? We'll be right back with the details. Stay with me.
We delivered 2 healthy kids last night.
Huh? Congrats.
Have you heard?
2 kids.
You get free calls from 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. for 6 months when you make an Airtel Tigo money transaction on new Airtel Tigo Saves.
My son has 2 kids. Agozi. No. Now your sister almost me.
For all your lengthy conversations, get a SIM today.
Yeah, so I'm still talking.
As you all know, if not for our president, most of us would have been on the street or even in the market. For me, my parents said after GHS, I'm joining my mother in the market to help me cater for my other brothers.
As for me, my parents never believed in this free SHS policy. They thought it was never going to happen until they started enjoying it.
You know what? I think I'm the luckiest among all students. I come from a very remote village that does not even exist on the map. But thanks to Nanado's policy,
5 years ago, my mother had to sell her shop and get a loan before my brother could complete in SHS.
That is the man with good intentions for his people and generations to come. Girls, don't you think it's high time we give him a second opportunity to better Ghana?
Ever since my dad died, it's just been my mom and I. And money has always been a big problem. But thanks to this free SHS policy, I'm in school and my mom is relieved financially. Guys, don't you think he deserves another 10?
Oh yes, he deserves another 10.
All right, so welcome back to the point of view. Tonight we're doing 2 things. We're going to do what we call a Facebook predictive analysis. Now, most of you haven't heard about that before, but I'm sure some of you have. I have a very interesting guest who's the digital director of a company called Pop Out. He's been doing these things for a few years. I remember in 2016, I hosted him on TV to talk about the 2016 election and what was going to happen. And he used Facebook to predict the election. Now, that's quite incredible because not everybody's on Facebook. You explain how he works. His name is Maximus Ametogo. Maximus, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Bernard.
It's good to have you.
Good to have you.
Fantastic. Now, before we get to Maximus, I've been doing a series of things for the past few days, just showing you some numbers. So what I wanted to do was to just show you some of the interesting races that are building up. So as you know, the MPP has a 67-seat majority in Parliament. But the NDC have been saying that they are going to win 140 seats, which means they're going to increase their parliamentary seats by about 23. Now, how do they want to do that? Now, we've looked at the closest 50 parliamentary races in the 2016 election, and we are looking at the seats we think would be more competitive this year, looking at how they behaved in 2012 and 2016. These are parliamentary seats that we think will be more competitive. Now, the thing about parliamentary seats is that you typically would have different candidates, so the dynamics always change. Be that as it may, let me start with the Northern region and show you some seats to look out for. So when you're watching us on Monday night and the parliamentary results are coming, look out for these seats. These are some of the most competitive seats in the Northern region. Now, Zabzugu had a 0.58% difference. Now, that's incredibly close. The other one that you should look out for is Bunkrubu, 0.98, less than 1% vote difference. And I'll show you some of the historical behaviors of these. Pandai as well, 1.99%. Look at the votes there. These are parliamentary vote percentages, all below 5%. Incredibly small, very thin margins we're seeing. The other one to look out for is Tolon, 2.49% difference. So the MPP had a 50.58%, NDC had 48.12. The thing about Tolon is that Tolon has always been close, because even in 2012, the race was mighty close. It was a 3,000 vote difference, and now it's less than 2,000. Then there's Unyo. So it used to be Bumpurubu Unyo, and look at it, 7,031 for NDC, 6,659 for MPP. This is Unyo. And Unio was mighty close in 2012. It's also become very, very close in 2016 as well. Then, of course, there's Savelugu. And Savelugu, again, it used to be Savelugu Nantong. It was split. Look at the gap, 2.87%. 12,590 for the NDC candidate, 13,334. Incredibly close margins, thin margins there. Then there's Daboya Mankarigu, 9208, 8589. And then Nanton. Now, Zabzugu is interesting because even in 2012, it was close. So you ask yourself, what's going on with this constituency? Why is it always this close? In 2012, the MPP won it. They had 13,300 votes. NDC had 12,213. And MPP's increase was by 134 votes, from 13,300 in 2012 to 13,434. 134. NDC increased from 12,213 to 13,591. So it was 50%, 46%. Now it's almost 50-50. So in the northern regions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just write these or take a screenshot of this and keep it. Because when the results starts coming, you'll notice that there are some very interesting dynamics here. Let me show you some quick things in Upper East region before I come to Maximus. Now again, Upper East has been given NDC presidential victories of around 100,000 margin. Watch out for Zebila. Zebila used to be called Boku West when John Indebruge was the member of parliament before Cletus Avoka. In 2012, it was fairly comfortable for the NDC, 21,900, 17,082. But look at 2016. It's a dead heat. 22,121, 22,361. 22,121, and don't forget, Zebila has gone PNC before. It was a 5140 for NDC in 2012 for Cletus Avoka. Now look at it. Less than 200 votes difference in a constituency with over 50,000 voters. The other one to look out for is Mahama Yarige's Boku Central. So there's Boku West and Boku Central. Now, Boku Central in 2012 was also mighty close. Okay, it wasn't that close actually. 24,000 for Mahama Yariga, 19,000 for his opponent. But look at it. 22,611, 21,104. Very, very close. Now, the other region I'll show you quickly before we come to Maximus is Upper West region. Now, Upper West region in 2012, MPP didn't have even one seat. In fact, the only non-NDC seat was Jirapa, where there was an independent candidate called Paul Deriguba. But MPP subsequently won Nandom, won Laura. So you have the Minister for Interior and Deputy Minister for Roads. And then you have Sisala West, Sisala East all going MPP in parliamentary, Wa East also going. So MPP won 5 parliamentary seats. Now, the closer ones in that particular race in 2016 were Wa Central. Rashid proposed Wa Central. He won it by a hair's breadth. Look at what he got. He literally won it by the skin of his teeth, 1.14%. And then Nandom, which used to be Laura Nandom. Look at that, 11,107, 10,229. So this is Ambrose Derry's Nandom. In 2012, it was a cool chop for the NDC, 62%, 34% for NPP. Now it's gone down to 51.47. And then again, Wa Central, which used to be a cool chop for NDC, in 2012 they had 44%, and in 2016 it's become very, very close. So keep an eye on those constituencies. Maximum, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Now I need to tell viewers that I'll come back to you on some Greater Accra constituencies as well and some of the key races and the matchups. So Maximus, what is this? Let's talk about 2016 first. So 2016, I remember you came on air and you said you had something you called a sentiment analysis on Facebook.
Right.
And just remind me what happened in 2016. What were your predictions, if you have some of the information you put out in 2016?
So the projection, I used what I call a Facebook affinity ranking. So
Facebook affinity ranking?
Yes. So it's based on you measure sentiments, whether it's positive, neutral, or negative. So Facebook, they have a data where you can go and assess audience insights and sentiments and other information also regarding the various users of the platform per region. Right.
Audience insights and sentiments.
Right.
For users of the platform per region.
Right. So they have columns. So you have the subject, you have the relevance, you have audience, Facebook users, and then the affinity score. So usually that's what you use for advertising and boosting posts and all that. So that's one component of the data I usually extract for my modeling.
Okay.
Right. So 2016, it projected 6 regions for MPP and then the 4 regions for NDC as I presented on your program, then on VASAT1, right? So
you use the insights for each region,
right?
Was it for the parties or the candidates?
So we have the parameters in the model include the parties, the party officials, government officials, so of all the parties involved, right? So those are the parameters that we use. And then you pick the registered voters per the regions, and then pair it against the size of Facebook users in those regions, and then draw a sample size from it. Right. So it's more of you are polling people's sentiments. But the fascinating thing is that it's not like the traditional polling. For example, Facebook knows if they put a black shoe and a red shoe in front of you, you will choose a black shoe.
How do they know that?
Yes, based on your profile, based on your posts, based on your comment and your reactions.
Is it because I support House of Folk?
Maybe.
So because I had a black shoe and a red shoe.
All right.
Okay.
So there's that prior knowledge of your sentiment.
Okay.
Right. So I'm not going to ask you which party you will vote for, but based on your history.
Really?
Of posts, comments, reactions, and how you even flip your phone screen, whether you saw a poll and skipped it, because that's how the algorithms work. So they have what they call the edge rank.
Rank?
Yeah, so that's what they use to...
But what about somebody like me who works in the media? Because for me, whether it's MPP or NDC, I have to read it because I need it for my show.
Exactly.
So what would they say about me then?
Of course, they may have an analysis about you that maybe you may not know.
Okay.
Right, so that's what they do, and then they do a cumulative of it. So per region, then they categorize all the subjects in each region into various categories. So you can have media, you can have politicians, you can have palace, you can have shops, outlets like that, and then they rank it. So normally we'll pick those columns: government, official, politician, political party, and all those subjects that relates to politics.
Wow.
For the modeling. So that's what happened.
So in 2016, you picked the number of Facebook users in the 010 regions.
Yes.
Looked at the registered voters.
Yes.
Used that to pick a sample.
Yes.
And then you looked for specific sentiments for the sample that you chose.
Right.
And that was why when you came on air, you said the MPP was going to win 6 regions.
Right.
At the time.
At the time, yes.
And NDC was going to win
4 regions.
But somebody, I say, there are some regions with poor internet penetration. So, for example, Upper West region versus Greater Accra.
It will amaze you.
How do you...
So there's a test. So the one I did, the initial one was the test one. So you wanted to model it against the history of each region per the party that won it. So if a particular party won Eastern region consistently, you have to pay attention to that. And then if a particular party won Volta region consistently, so if you have MPP, NDC, there should be that correlation. You know the stronghold. So we use the stronghold as a test model. Ashanti region, Eastern region, Volta, and Northern, to test the model before.
Okay. So you showed us some key parameters. I want to put it on the screen for you to explain. We're just trying to understand this. So what is this? Key parameters, Facebook audience in Ghana.
Right.
Just walk me through this.
So these are the parameters that I use. So audience per region, we have the top categories per region. And then we have relevance. So that's the affinity ranking. And then we have the political personalities. So we look at all the personalities in NDC, MPP, PPP, and all the other parties too as well. We look at government institutions. So usually people have affinity towards the government also as well. So you look at government institutions, and then the political organizations, the various parties. And then the public sentiment triggers, which is our secret. So normally what happens is you have a talking point. So anything that is being discussed in the media, we want to look at how it will affect public sentiment, either for the government or for the opposition, right? So we'll look at those sentiments.
So there's
we have a
audience
list
per
of them.
region,
Yes.
top categories per region,
Right.
affinity ranking, which you call relevance.
Right.
Then you have political personalities, government institutions, political organizations, and the one that you don't release is what you call the public sentiment triggers. What do you
Yes.
mean of public sentiment trigger?
So what triggers the public sentiment? So either there's some discussion in the media about maybe Amidu's letter that he's released, there was some corruption story, or the opposition also did something. So we look at the various talking points, because that's what drives engagement on social media, especially Facebook. What do people talk about? So we'll look at that as well, and then we'll always do bi-weekly monitoring of the ranking. So it is a trend. So what I'm presenting is a sum of the trends. So we've been doing since June.
Okay.
Right.
So let's go back to the thing you have. So in terms of this election, how did you do the sampling? Can you show that? Because I think that's your next slide. How you use the number of Facebook users to determine the sample size for each region.
Right.
And this is the old 10 regions you're using.
Yes, because the Facebook hasn't been able to demarcate the new borders yet for the new regions.
Okay.
So that's why I've put asterisks on the regions that have been demarcated.
Okay.
Right.
So this is for 2020.
Yes.
This is for 2020.
Exactly.
Now, the registered voters is based on what the EC released.
Right.
Ashanti has 3.09 million voters.
Yes.
Greater Accra 3.5 million. So this is the number. Now, what do you mean by Facebook average?
So the Facebook average, so they give you a range. So we have Greater Accra, we have a range in terms of 3 million to 3.5 million users. So we try to strike an average. So that's what we normally use for
So in the second column, Facebook average, when you add those numbers, that should give you the 5.5 million Facebook users. So it's
Exactly.
basically the Facebook pie is divided based on the registered voters.
Right.
So because Greater Accra, but that's interesting. Greater Accra has 3.5 million voters, but has 3.2 million Facebook users.
Yes, based
of
on
the 5 million pie.
Exactly.
So Greater Accra is inordinately large.
Yes.
Which means that your data is very Greater Accra skewed.
Exactly. And mind you, the 2016, they couldn't, about 89% then of Facebook users were in Greater Accra region.
In 2016,
yes,
89% of Facebook users were in the Greater Accra region.
Right.
Has it changed?
It has changed, yes. So we have almost 70%.
So Greater Accra is now 70%.
Yes.
So other regions have caught up a bit.
Right.
Wow. Okay, so let's go back to that screen. I just wanted to just show something. So the sample size then becomes what? The percentage, or what? The last column, what was that?
So the sample size is the average, so the sample size is the registered voters as against the Facebook users average.
Which you just use to pull your sample.
Yeah, exactly.
So the Ashanti's 56.6% is what?
Is the one, so the registered voters 3 million as against the 1.75 million Facebook users in the Ashanti region.
So that's
the sample size.
So 56% of Ashanti registered voters are on Facebook.
Yes, contextually.
Whilst 92% of Greater Accra registered voters are on Facebook.
Right.
Although we know that some of the 3.2 million are below 18.
So in Ghana, for example, the Facebook users is supposed to start at the age of 16.
Okay.
Right.
So you can't do Facebook if you are below 16?
No.
Okay, so we make a space for 2 years of underage.
Exactly.
Please put that screen back again. I just want to be sure I understand what this is. Put it back. So you're saying that the last column is the proportion of registered voters who are on Facebook in each region.
Right.
That's what it means.
Right.
So Volta region has only 2%, 2.92.
Yes.
Eastern has 4.57.
Right.
Central 7.79. Okay, you go on. So what does this mean in the context of your model?
Right. So when we go to the next two slides, the next slide talks about the regional summary, so I can explain that.
Okay.
So based on that, so this is the national summary in terms of projection.
Hey, the national summary.
Yes.
Explain it.
So based on the data that I have, this is the what do you call it, the regional demarcation in terms of which party is going to win what region.
Okay.
Right. So we have Ashanti region. The blue is MPP, and then the green is NDC. So we have Ashanti, Brown, Afro, Central, Eastern, Greater Accra region, and Western going for MPP based on the data, which the details is in the subsequent slides per region. And then we have NDC going, winning the projected to win Volta region, Upper East, Upper West, Northern region, and then the Greater Accra, because the percentage is the projection, it projects at least 40 to 45% for NDC.
So that's the reason. Just relax. Whoever is moving, just take your time. Just take your time. Let's understand this. Deep blue means that this is the party that's going to win.
Right.
Deep green means the party that's going to win.
Right.
Now, light green and light blue, what does it mean?
So the percentage above 40.
Really?
Right.
So you're saying that Bronga Hafo, Central and Eastern and Ashanti is strong MPP.
Right.
Volta, Upper West, Upper East, Northern is strong NDC.
Right.
Greater Accra is MPP but weaker.
Yes.
Because of the green you put there.
Exactly. Actually, when I did, as at October 11th, when I did the assembly, it was almost 50-50.
October 11th?
Yes.
So this is the last time we did this. We didn't do it in November.
So, in fact, this is today's.
This is today?
Yes.
So, sentiment analysis in these regions, based on the sampling you did,
yes,
suggests that the Ashanti, Bono-Afo, Central, Eastern, and Western regions prefer MPP.
Right. So that is
as we speak today,
the sentiment, yes.
And Volta, Upper East, Upper West, Northern prefer NDC.
Right.
Really?
Right.
Okay. Do you have specific evidence of issues and comments that make you come to this conclusion?
So when we go to the next slide, so we go to Ashanti region.
Okay, let's go to
the next. So you have the
one.
summary.
Ashanti region summary.
So that's the summary. So registered voter, which I showed in the previous data. So the next slide shows you the relevance and affinity scoring. So you can move to the next slide.
Move to the next slide. Relevance and affinity scoring.
Yeah.
Okay.
So these are the subjects that we use to score the affinity.
In Ashanti.
So we have Napo, yes. So we have Napo, John Peter Mewu, the MPP loyal ladies, then MPP itself, Dr. Baomia Kojo Nkrumah, and then Rebecca Kufu.
What does this mean? Who are these?
These are rankings from Facebook data. It's not my data.
Where the ranking means what?
So when you pick when you rank Ashanti region subjects using political parties, so this is their affinity and the scoring. So you can see the relevance is under, so they normally score it over 100. So they rank it. So it's a position. So Napo is number 6 in the Ashanti region. John Peter is number 10.
So of all the things important to Ashanti people,
yes,
Napo is the 6th.
Yes, on Facebook.
Including food,
anything,
fashion, football, kotoko,
everything they talk about.
Napo is number
media.
6
yes,
in Ashanti.
Right.
And Amewu is number 10.
Yes.
Hey, let me ask, where's Otun for? Oh, that one I can't ask.
So
this is Facebook.
So I didn't extract the Otun for angle because it wasn't politics related. So these are people that are based on the key parameters. So that's why you see Napo number 6, because there's somebody first, second, third, fourth, fifth before Napo.
So but the first 5 are not political people?
No, they are not political subjects.
So the first 5 subjects in Ashanti. So Napo is the 6th most important issue in Kumasi's Facebook users.
Exactly.
Hey, what does 402 times mean?
So that's affinity score. So Facebook has that affinity score.
So the higher the affinity score, the
higher
better your ranking.
relevance, yes.
So those who are below, the affinity score will be below 402.
Exactly.
So Napo, John Peter Amewu, MPP loyal ladies, yes, MPP itself, Baomia Kojo Nkrumah. So where is the president himself?
So normally we use a sum of so the modeling doesn't target just the what do you call it, the candidate.
Because that would be
the party.
They will spoil it.
Exactly.
Okay. So the candidate is assumed to be popular or what?
So it's assumed that when your party is loved based on these parameters, the candidate is supposed to be voted for. So that.
But what if the people are saying negative things about Napo? So what if all these positive things they are saying?
These are positive things. So normally the ranking changes every week, every 7 days it changes. So we've been monitoring it since June.
And when you average it, so is this an average from June to now?
Exactly.
Napo is number one political issue in Ashanti.
Right.
But what is Peter Amewu doing in Ashanti region? So
Peter Amewu is quite unique because throughout from the June to today, when we started doing the modeling, he's been like the number 2 in terms of government official countrywide. So really? I don't know whether it's scoring. Yes. So he's scoring whether because he was a minister fighting Galamsey or because he's an energy minister. He has a very high affinity scoring. In fact, when you come to the voter region, when you go to the dashboard for voter region, his affinity scoring is even higher than former President John Mahama's affinity.
Are you serious?
Yes.
John Peter Amewu.
Exactly.
Okay, so just put the thing up again so I'm sure we understand what we are showing. Then we'll take a break and come back to Greater Accra region. You're saying that based on these things, okay, fine. How did this translate into MPP? Is it that because all the subjects in the top 6 also are all MPP related?
Exactly. So if you have there's no NDC political subject showing in the Ashanti region
in their top
for the past
10.
6 months. Yes. Not top 10, top 100.
But Oja and Kwame Zu and all those people are not there?
No. So you can see
Asawasi, Muntaka?
No.
They are not inside?
No.
Hey, but what if I tell the voters are not on Facebook? The voters are...
So that's how we do the sampling size. So the Ashanti region, you have like 56% sampling size. So this is affinity. So, and most of these people you are even talking about, they also have Facebook pages.
Okay, let's let this sink. We'll take a short break. When I come back, we'll pick some regions and look through. This is the point of view. Fascinating stuff. When we did this in 2016, it wasn't this detailed. Maximus Ametogo, who's the digital director of Pop Out, which is, what is Pop Out? Content.
Yes, so digital marketing
companies, has a Facebook model which is predicting 6 regions for MPP, 4 for NDC, but he's explaining it. So let's hear him out and then we can conclude on it. This is the point of view. Stay with us.
Ghana for say agro no be dey fi anopa agro no aso na aso yi ye beto aba December ya to sa papa ni nyina atwene ni asa nkwose ase bi sam fie na na de anim de ya digya akufuado ni bawumia ani MPP fo a se no mo se ya ase kuaye otumpon enwoma so ya otumpon hospital otumpon akwanyi aden ni nyina asori sikasam no so investors ni ade ba mre bia Ghana for be tumi ni be hyensem manu puncho se sikasam obonse manu sorry se free SHO so se nsupa paye no be hwesrem bia se kuayo hospital healthcare housing akwan papa womu ye ni nyina na bia ye ni nyina dia ye nko sesa ye nyi tumi ni mfiri ho ye nsa mfa nko hen fa bi timi ya masra se Ghana for womu ye nyina na na do achi nsa ma na kwan mo da baso se kwan wazi so no onko so de do mase
Don't forget the balloons,
check,
the DJ,
check,
and the drinks.
Listen, honey, I've got this party under control, okay?
Daddy, don't forget our birthday cake with the sparkling candles. Daddy, are you there?
The party's at 4 p.m., honey. Don't be late.
With the all-new CowPay on the CowBank app and website, you don't have to worry about carrying cash. Just place your order with your favorite merchant and pay with a Visa or MasterCard, mobile money or CowBank account, or scan and pay. Visit the Play Store or App Store and download the CowBank app today. CowBank app. Forget the cash.
CowBank. Forward together. Give them. Riding them go out. Basa with tear. What? You know about you team no. For real? What does he want again? To bring back 4 solid years of doing so. Maybe to create root and share or hand over the country's entire box to his brother.
See, incompetence again. No way. We've come a long way to take any race.
Charlie, see, we can't afford to lose 1D, 1F, 1 constituency, 1 ambulance, 1 district, 1 warehouse, 1 village, 1 dam, 1 1 boy, 1 girl.
Cool down.
Naku.
Nothing for food and jobs. See, if we agree house farming in the year of return.
Ale.
Ganaka.
People you forget the almighty free
Welcome back to The Point of View. Tonight we are doing a Facebook sentiment analysis and using that to try and understand where the election is going. Now, Maximus Ametogo is my guest. He's from Pop Out. He's given a very interesting explanation of his model, essentially saying the voter population, the Facebook population, he takes the proportion, then he uses sentiment analysis to see what the people in the region on Facebook are saying. You can make of that what you would. You showed us Ashanti. And you're saying when it comes to Ashanti, it's strong MPP.
Right.
What's your next region you want to show me?
So Brown Ahafo.
Brown Ahafo region, okay.
Yes.
This is 3 in 1. BA with Bono East, Bono and Ahafo together.
Right.
Good. So what is this?
So that's the Brown Ahafo. So we have the registered voters and then the Facebook audience average. And then we have the sample size.
Okay.
So 4.79. So when you go to the affinity score dashboard, you see the subjects there. We have the elephant, which is
the elephant.
Yes. So the elephant is a media outfit for the MPP.
There's a media outfit called the elephant.
Yes. So it's very how do we call that? Prominent in the Brown Ahafo region.
It's number 17 in
number
the
17, and then we have the MPP TV. There's another online channel for the MPP.
Then Napo is showing up again. And Napo is showing again. Loyal Ladies is there.
Right.
NDC Web.
Right. So the fascinating thing with this one is that the NDC Web, they categorize themselves as a political organization.
Okay.
So when you go there, most of the content are NDC content. So they have a very
ranking.
Yes, in the Brown Ahafo region.
The information minister is 87.
Right.
So this also tells you that it's leaning towards MPP.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, let's go to the next.
That's the blue color on the corner. So
Central region. This is interesting.
Right.
1.5 million registered voters. It's now a very big region.
Right.
Audience average.
So the average is the 125. So the sample size is 7.97%.
What are the big sentiments there?
So the subject. So we have NAPO there. We have the Ministry of Information. So one of the.
So in Central region, the top 3, number 50 is NAPO.
Yes.
Ministry of Information is 53.
Right.
MPP is 63. NDC Web.
So the NDC Web, they have dropped out as of today. So that's why I dropped them down there because they were very, very prominent also in the Central region.
But today they've come down.
Yes.
So this is just today.
Right.
Today's sentiments.
Yes.
Based on today.
2 hours ago.
Okay. Does that mean that this can change tomorrow?
So normally it changes within a week. So
how do you use it to predict then?
So the affinity scoring usually changes by 2.3 points. So when you have that average throughout 7 days to election, it doesn't change.
I see.
Right.
So could Napo be there because of free SHS or education or whatever?
Education. His page is very engaging. He's been interactive. He's doing a lot
out there.
Yes, exactly. Okay. And then one thing is that the affinity scoring is not dependent on the number of total Facebook audience you have.
So you can have a small Facebook page, but because
have
of
a higher, yes.
Okay, so let's move from
affinity.
Central to which other region?
Right. So Eastern. So we have the
region.
Eastern. So 1.6 million. Yes. Registered voters, average Facebook users 75,000, sample size is 4.57.
So Central has more Facebook users than Eastern region?
Exactly.
Interesting. And yeah, but Eastern has more registered voters than Central region.
Right. So when we come to the relevant score sheet, you see Michael Ochribefi.
Michael Ochribefi is number 3.
Yes, so he showed up just 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
Right, so just 2 weeks ago, and his affinity is higher than all the other people.
He's number 3 in Eastern region.
Right.
Nana Dokuya Isiamaje, number 7.
She was leading for the past 5 months in the region.
Dokuya?
Yes.
And then MPP loyal ladies?
Then
Kojo Opon Nkrumah,
MPP TV, NAPO, and then the ministry. John
They're
everywhere. And then the MPP, and then Rebecca Ekufu. So NDC doesn't show there too as well.
In Eastern region Facebook.
So June, July, August, October, the NDC web was showing, but they are no more showing the
So
Eastern
NDC consolidate all the information to NDC web. So
yes.
NDC web is the
I don't know whether it's part of the strategy or
so
not.
NDC web is like a website?
Yeah,
it's a Facebook page?
It's a Facebook page, and I think they have a website too as well. So I'm just using what is on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's move away from Eastern region.
Right.
What's the next region?
Greater Accra.
Greater Accra region. Before you get to here, so you have 3.5 million registered voters.
Right.
And we have 3.2 million people. Wow.
Yes. So that's the average Facebook user in the region. And then, so the sample size is 92.
Great. What's
now,
the
Facebook. So now when it comes to Greater Accra, this page has been moving.
Dr. Zaneto Ajiman Rawlings.
Zaneto is 57, and then Kojo Opon Nkrumah is 89.
Wow.
But when it comes to relevance, so we have top category pages. She's not ranked there for the past 3 months. She doesn't show there, but she shows within the rank. But Kojo Opon shows there as government official.
So does that mean that Zaneto doesn't say too many things on Facebook, but people talk about her?
She's very active. She has a very high affinity score there too as well.
Really?
Right.
She's 57.
Yes. So she's been consistent there. And then so MPP has been showing, and then JM showed, I think it was in October, and then he dropped off. And that was the first time, the whole of the 7 months that we monitored.
So this is Facebook's ranking?
Right.
Wow. Very interesting. So Zaneto Ajiman Rawlings,
right.
MP. How come Kojo Opon's name is twice? One is 48, one is 87. What do you mean? Can you show that thing again?
So the 48 is so normally the 48 is the subject ranking. So government official is the number 48th in terms of categorization. So he is the government official. So that's why his score is higher. So Zaneto doesn't fall, even though she's a public figure, she doesn't fall within the top categories of pages.
I get your point.
Right.
So that's Kojo Opon Nkrumah and Zaneto Ajiman Rawlings.
Right.
Fine. So this is Greater Accra region.
Yes.
So how did this help you conclude that MPP was going to win the region?
So based on the previous, the average that we scored, right, and then the previous winner, don't forget we normally use the previous winner of the region to also score it, right, and then the other elements, so we have, for example, Samini, we have Sarkodie, we have Kwame Eugene, and a couple of other figures.
I'm interested in knowing who are in the top 10 in Greater Accra, just human beings, without even politics.
I can fetch that for you. This is just for politics. So you look at all the.
Who is the most popular subject on Greater Accra Facebook? Is it Kwame Eugene?
No, not Kwame Eugene.
You should have checked before Kamsa.
Right.
so that the political party go and hire him or her to campaign for them.
So Greater Accra is going to be very tight. The margin, the winning margin will be very small.
Really?
Yes, that's been the
based on this.
Based on this.
But you just showed me 2 names.
Yes. So what I'm saying is that you see the dashboard I'm showing you here. These are the subject, political subjects. Now from June, July, August, this has been the consistency. MPP has been leading this particular region till now. Right. So this is what I use. 2016, I used Calipo to do the projection for Greater Accra region, because they had their page grew from 8,000 to about 74,000 within 3 months, right? So the other subjects that are not political, that I don't want to bring into the dashboard, that's why you are not seeing the...
So you're only using political issues?
Exactly.
I see. So Greater Accra, you're saying MPP is leading, but it's going to be tight?
Yes.
Based on your projection?
Exactly.
Shanti is MPP.
Right.
Central, is it MPP straight away or close?
Central is MPP.
Central.
Yes.
You've done BA. You say BA is also MPP.
Yes.
No problem. Which other one have you done?
So the Northern is the next
Let's
one,
go to
which is
Northern
NDC.
1.3.
Yeah, so 24% sample size. Right. So we have, the fascinating thing is that we have Honorable Salifu Said also having a very high affinity score.
Is it a minister? Regional minister?
Yes, regional minister.
And Hassan Tampuli?
Yes.
Oh, candidate for
so
somewhere.
he is also very high. So he is even higher than Haruna. Haruna is Haruna Institute.
So the Haruna Institute is there. NDC Web. Okujeto Ablakwa.
NDC TV. Zenato is also there.
John Dramani Mahama.
Then John Mama is there. And then we have Baumia also there. Samira is there. And then the ministry also there.
Salifu Said, Hassan Tampuli.
Yes.
Hassan Tampuli is the MPA chief executive.
Yeah.
And I think he's candidate for somewhere.
Right.
I think it's
so he has a very high relevance score.
Haruna Institute.
Yes.
Hey, what is that?
So that's Haruna's official page.
Haruna Institute.
Yes.
Hey, Haruna Institute.
Right.
What's Okujeto Ablakwa doing there?
So he has a very high affinity also in the northern region by the Facebook data.
Wow.
Right. So he is the number 52.
And then there's NDC TV. Zaneto is also showing up there.
Yes.
And JDM is there.
Right.
But you were saying you were not putting presidential candidates in it.
No, the presidential candidate shows. So as and when it shows, we indicate that.
I see.
Right.
So this is northern region.
Right.
Good.
And then the next page is also here. So we have Transforming Ghana, which is also an NDC page. And then
so there's
the
more.
late President Rawlings is also showing the northern region is quite.
It's a lot of things.
Lot of content.
Politics.
Yes.
Transforming Ghana
there.
is there. Kojo Ponkruma, MPP. Jerry John Rawlings is also there.
Yeah.
Very interesting. These are the things people are talking about.
Right. So
these
NDC
are
is going
high
to win
affinity.
That. Yes.
But NDC is more prominent there.
Right.
I see. What other region do you have?
So Upper East sample size
65,000 Facebook average.
Yeah.
6.85%.
Right.
What are we seeing there?
So when you go to the page, so Haruna Institute is number
comfortable
9. Yes.
NDC Web
from 8 to 9.
NDC TV.
Web, NDC TV.
Zaneto.
Right.
JDM. I mean, John Dramani Mahama was in the Upper East region, I think 3 days ago.
Right.
Probably influences.
Yes.
Then Minister of Information.
And then the Dr. Baumia. Then.
Hey, John Dumelo is there. Oh.
That is a shocker. You know, the 2016, John Dumelo was one of the top, subjects in terms of the political race when I was doing the modeling. So I was quite surprised that they didn't use John Dumelo.
In 2016?
Yes.
He had a strong affinity in 2016.
Right.
Wow.
He's showing the Upper East.
He's showing up in the Upper East region.
I was surprised.
You should move his seat there. Wow.
So you have that. So NDC is winning that, but Upper East is quite tricky. The margins will also be close.
Really?
Right.
Your Facebook model is interesting. Let's go to Upper West or which other one?
Yeah, so Upper West is 7.98 sample size. So average users 37,500 Facebook
small.
users.
But somebody will say, Maximus, you have, hold on, just stay where you're
right.
You have 37,000 Facebook users in Upper West region.
Right.
Upper West region has, 500,000 or so voters.
Yeah, so just like a traditional polling, I'm not sure that traditional polling will go and do 37,000 sample size in the Upper
Yeah, but
West
you see, I think
region.
the question people will ask is,
yes.
Facebook has a certain type of audience,
right?
Literate, tech-savvy, smartphones.
Right.
Now, there are lots of rural communities where people don't have access to internet. So what people are saying on Facebook doesn't reflect what the people think on the ground.
Yeah, Bernard, I get that. But likewise, traditional sampling, usually they also can go and do just English-speaking people and do their sampling size. So I'm just using sentiment on Facebook. Don't forget that almost all the Facebook users in Ghana can speak one local language or the other.
Yeah, so what I'm saying that then you can say that
yes,
Facebook users in a region are tilting towards this party, but that cannot translate into the whole region voting, because if you look at the percentage of people on Facebook, so Greater Accra may be representative because Greater Accra is 3.2 million, but if you have an Eastern region or an Upper West region with so few Facebook users as a percentage, then means your sample size is too small to be predictive of the region's behavior.
Yeah, when we did the testing, it's just like voter region. Why is it tilting towards a certain party and not the other party?
Yeah.
Northern region is tilting towards another party, not the other. So there's that balance there. So it's not.
Yeah, but I'm saying that you see, some regions have more. So your sampling is bigger and more accurate in some regions.
Right.
So I'll say, for example, your Greater Accra is more predictive than your Upper West or your Eastern, because your Eastern and Upper West, the sample size is too small to determine. So we can say of all the things, maybe Greater Accra and Ashanti are the two biggest because the sample size is large enough. Greater Accra is 92, Ashanti is 56. But any sample size below 10% is very small.
Right, but you see, traditional sample size, I don't know what the other sample size that they normally do, but they do typically maybe 30,000 sample size out of 70 million people. That's
but the sample is representative of the various demographics. But in this case, your sample is purely, so we have to interpret it on the basis of access to digital media called Facebook. Unlike, you see, when you're doing a sampling for a national election, you, for example, you pick constituencies from various places, and then you also pick people who are rural, urban to match the national character. So when you take the sample, it's representative not in terms of just the number, but in terms of the dynamics of the demographic. Do you get my point? But your model, your Facebook model, unless the Facebook thinking is predictive of the national thinking, we cannot say that this is the sentiment of the nation. That's my point to you.
So Bernard, let me say that, you see, on the Facebook dashboard for the audience insight, you can even have Wa or Tumu there. I can tell you the number of users within that particular city. So there is that precise. Cities and sometimes even villages, users in those particular regions. And the Facebook does the sum of it within the region. So I'm just using the sample size, which is almost a spread.
Okay.
So to do that. So the margin of errors, of course, will be bigger in some regions than the others.
Clearly. I'll take a break. When I come back, you haven't shown me Volta region.
Yeah, so that's the next one.
We'll look at Volta region, and then maybe I'll ask you a few other questions about what you can pull for me. Then I'll show you Greater Accra, closely contested seat. This is the point of view. Very interesting. Maximus Ametogov pop-out Facebook predictive model. Give 6 regions to NPP, 4 to NDC. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Fellow Ghanaians, elections offers opportunity for us to make informed choices in respect of the leadership, the presidential and parliamentary leadership of our country. Let us discourage political thuggery, what we call vigilantism. Let us stick to the code of conduct that the political parties, the major political parties, NDC, NPP, have signed, because it is very, very, very crucial. Also bearing in mind the Vigilantism and Related Offences Act 29, Act 999. Ghana has had 7 general elections already, peaceful elections in the 4th Republic. The 8th one should not mar Ghana's peaceful credentials. Let's do all we can to sustain the enviable record we have as the most peaceful country in West Africa. God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong.
Are you ready for Angela's baby shower on Saturday?
Is that before or after Kwesi's wedding?
No more this and that. We really need to get everyone what they deserve.
But how can we get all in one weekend?
And don't forget Auntie B's birthday party.
Uncle T's children are going to school too. Hey!
We have so many anniversaries with different gifts to buy for different special people.
You and who?
Why don't you get Malcolm gift vouchers so they can get whatever they want?
Me, I don't want another descent. I want my something.
Hey, you lads. Malcolm gift vouchers, you can all get whatever you want. Remember, you get the same bargain prices from any Malcolm shop across the country.
Now, you can all get your perfect gifts.
Ghana for say agro no be dey fi anopa. Agro no aso. Na aso yi ye beto aba December. Ya to sa papa ni nyina atwene ni asa ankohye ase bi. Sam fie na na eda nim de ya digya. Akufuado ni bawumia ani MPP fo. Se no mo se ya ase kuaye otumpon, enwoma so ya tumpon, hospital otunkom, akwanyi, aden ni nyina asori. Sikasam no so investors ni ade ba. Mre bia Ghana for di tumi ni be hye nsam. Manu punchu se sikasam obon se. Manu sorry. Se free SHO so. Se nsu papa ye no be hwesirim bia se kuayo. Hospital, healthcare, housing, akwan papa. Womu ye ni nyina. Na bia ye ni nyina dia ye nko sesa. Dia nyi tumi ni mfiri ho. Ye nsa mfa nko hen fa bi. Timi ya mesra se Ghana for. Womu ye nyina na na do achi. Nsa ma na kwan ye moda baso se. Kwan wezi so no onko so. Ye do mase. Me you me see once and worry ba wo.
Welcome back to The Point of View. We are trying to understand what Facebook's prediction for election will be. So far, we've run through 9 regions. My guest is Maximus Ametogo. Let's see what the Volta region's predictive analysis is saying. Then we have a national sample, and then we'll see where that leaves us. So, what did you find in Volta region?
So Upper West.
So Upper West, yes.
Yes, so we have Upper West.
2.9%.
So, Bernard Mona friends, they have the highest, what do you call it, affinity ranking in the Upper West region.
So scroll it properly. So Upper West, the first one is Bernard Mona.
Right. So that's page 1, yes. And then
Bernard
Dr.
Mona.
Rashid Papo started showing just 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Right. So, and then Dr. Bin Salah Hafiz is also I think, an MPP candidate.
Okay.
And then we have Anthony Kabu also showing there.
So the red is MPP, then the rest are all NDC. Haruna Institute, NDC, exactly. Blackwell, Zaneto, Dramani Mahama, Jerry John Rawlings.
Right.
Okay.
Before
Mahmoud
Dr.
Baumia
shows
Kujo Opon, MPP, Napo, and Samira.
Right.
Okay, let's do Volta.
So Volta. See, the Volta is, the sample size is almost 3%.
Very small.
Right. But you can see here, so the relevance score, the affinity page. So you have, so Tilapia the cartoonist.
Tilapia is very popular.
Because he's doing a lot of political cartoons.
John Peter Mewu.
John Peter Mewu is there, number 20. And then before a Blackwell, and the NDC Web, and then
Francis Xavier. Wow, Francis Xavier is also.
Yeah, so and
number
then
4.
Jenana Prof is there, and then Dr. Zaneto is there, and then we have Mama 2020, which started showing about 2 weeks ago in the Volta region.
Then with all due respect.
Right, so you're showing the Transforming Ghana.
NDC TV, John Dawani Mahama, Haruna Institute. So what does this mean for the national? Do you have a national average?
Right, so and then, so the Ghana one, so we can jump to the Ghana one, which is the data.
Oh, sorry, Western region. Show me Western region.
So
yes.
Western region, so we have the Western region sample size 13.5.
Yes, we know this. Just move on. I just want to see the top things.
John Peter and Ministry of Information. So it used to be John
in
Peter.
Western region?
Yes, about Napo, and then MPP loyal ladies. So
amazing.
Yes.
So now do you have the...
So the national, so the Ghana, this is the data from Facebook itself. So let's go to the next slide.
Ghana.
So it means, so Ghana, we have an average of 5.5 million Facebook users, which is 32.3% sample size. So the relevance scoring for Ghana, this data from Facebook. So aside all the 6 regions that are...
So these are the top...
These are the top...
Political people.
Yes. So we have the Napo. There we have MPP loyal ladies, we have the ministry, Kojo Nkrumah, New Patriotic Party, Dr. Zaneto is there, and then Dr. Mahmoud Baumia is showing there too as well.
Wow.
So this is the relevant scoring for Ghana.
Which is what led you to conclude that this is what is going to happen?
Exactly.
I see.
So that's the affinity scoring. And
wow.
Among the over 100 list of subjects, Zaneto is the one showing for Ghana when you do the total, the cumulative scoring.
What do you mean she's showing for Ghana?
For NDC,
for
sorry.
NDC,
Yes, exactly.
in the 100.
Yes.
So she's the most popular NDC person on Facebook.
Right.
Wow. That's interesting. So, have you used this in any country and has it worked before?
So, 2017, I tested the same model with Kenya, so I followed it using their 8 provinces.
Yes.
And it was clear-cut. 4 was going for Uhuru and 4 was going for Raila. And 60% of the voters was even within the Uhuru's constituency, how do you call it, provinces. So the projection that I did projected it for him. I actually even posted some of the findings on his page, and it resulted in a lot of arguments. People were arguing, I don't stay in Kenya, and I don't know what is happening. I was like, okay, I tested the same thing in Ghana. Let's watch and see what happens. And I think I had some discussion with Bryce Simmons. So. Wow. He knew it, and then
so your prediction was right for Kenya.
Yes,
but you didn't get it right for America.
So the America one is quite funny. So what I did was I didn't do the detailed one as I do for Ghana, because I don't know a lot of the subject, what they call it, the political subject. So what I did was I did it for 12 states. Of the swing states. And then
your models have Trump would win.
It favored the Republicans.
But by
right, of course. So I lost 4 of it.
Okay.
And that's what is in dispute. Actually, even in the model that I shared with some of the people on Facebook, Pennsylvania was 50-50. So I wasn't surprised if they are fighting about
We'll take it like that. Thank you, Maximus. Really interesting. Look, we hope you've enjoyed it. It's always good to learn something new. The election is in 5 days. Let's be peaceful. Let's go and vote. And let's wait to see who wins. My name is Bernard Avle. We'll be with you again next time. On Monday, it's full election night. Stay with us. The Voters' Diary is up next. Bye-bye.
Point of View is powered by Airtel Tigo. Airtel Tigo. Life is simple. Voters' Diary is sponsored by Samsung. Samsung. Inspire the world, create the future.
This is the Election Bureau. Welcome to the Voters' Diary. My name is Vivian Kai Loco. We continue with our visits across the country, and today we'll be going to Sege as well as Prampram to gauge the situation with the upcoming elections. What are voters thinking about in informing their decisions to vote for this year? We'll be looking at that along the coast, specifically Prampram and Sege. We'll be right back.
Prepare to go to the polls in December, let's always remember that we have done this before in peace and in harmony. We have gone to the polls 7 times, and each of those polls have been hailed around the world as remarkably peaceful.
From 1992 till now, we have garnered almost 3 decades of solid experience with persuasive arguments, respecting our rights to hold different opinions.
In an unlikely event that you are tempted to use violence against an opponent, take a deep breath and remember the simple fact. That is just not how we do it here in Ghana.
Arguments may be heated, voices might be raised. We might poke fun at each other, but through it all, we do not resort to violence.
We have a nation to build. Other nations are looking up to us as example. As we go to the polls, remember to keep the peace that exists in the country. Let's vote in peace.
And you're welcome back to the Vulture's Diary. My name is Vivian Kai Loco. Let me take you to Sege and Pram Pram, our correspondent. He's here, located here in the Greater Accra region, but with this particular story, he moved all the way to Pram Pram and Sege to see how voters are preparing towards the 2020 election, some of the issues they would be considering before they cast their ballots. Richard Mensah has been looking at that story.
The Ningo Pram Pram constituency was carved out from the then Dangbe West, now